Okay, everybody, we thought it would be funny to do old school ls1tech, and I was like, there's probably not even any messages in there.
I was like, let's do ls1tech, and he's like, what if there's no messages? And I was like, really, bro?
Yeah, I bet no one's on there.
So I texted him, and he goes, there's like 60. I'm like, exactly.
There's 60 of them, so we're going to do the lightning round, I guess, and go from, I had more than this, but I deleted everything from 17 and older, because I was like, that's 3 years already. So...
And they probably already sold their belts.
Yeah, this stuff is, they're probably still on jack stands, to be honest, if they're asking me questions. So anyway, we'll just go right to, this is a reply. Hey Matt, thanks for getting back to me. After watching some tuning videos, I don't expect to get more than 325 through the 80E. Well, that's nice. I don't know anything about this. Can I delete it? Okay, cool. I can delete it right there. Private messages, go. And then I have to go to the end again. Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah, just you open up.
Oh
tab.
Yeah, you're right.
Making things more difficult for yourself.
You're right. I'm sorry. tinypic.com. What's up, Matt? I totally derped my last message. Here's our YouTube link. We haven't uploaded in a bit, but things are starting to progress now as weather's starting to warm up. Here's a few pictures of the car, by the way.
It's old.
Sorry, the pics are huge, I know. Actually, they're not that big. Anyway. P.S. Chair Slayer is badass. We talked about him, I guess, in the old video. Well, does his YouTube link work? Does it take us somewhere not work safe? Build it, break it, garage. 7 months ago. I'll watch it then. We'll add him to the list. That S13 LS240. I have to check it. Anyway, tuning. Hey Matt, love your videos, watch them all the time. Just a quick question for you, do you use EFI Live at all? Nope. Only reason I ask is I sent my PCM out to get tuned and I think it's off, a little rich. I would like you to have a look at it, but it's only EFI Live. Well, Chris, if it's a stock computer, it's not only EFI Live. It has stock computer stuff in it. See if Chris still watches. It'd be funny if these people reply. If it was tuned with EFI Live and it doesn't have a completely custom operating system, it can be read and tuned with HP tuners, no problem. There's some, the more you know. Check this, delete this. Wonderful. Will it work?
Oh my.
Windshield wipers on a duck's ass. This is the kind of stuff. This is fantastic. Do you think I'll get 100 messages after we post this?
Probably should reply to this guy.
I think so. I think it will work. Let me move this over.
Obviously, you thought about it for a long time.
Submit. That guy has like 5 posts. We'll have to see if he gets back to me. 0653 jet boat.
Oh my. Hello there. First, I want to say I am a huge fan of what all you do. It's amazing. I am looking for advice on an LS swap project. I'm doing it. It is a 2006 5.3 that I am putting into a jet boat. The engine is totally stock and will stay that way for a while. This is not my first LS swap. So I do my own wiring harnesses and have tuned diesels with EFI Live. What is that? EFI Live. For about 5 years and about a year mild tuning on the LS engines. I now have HP tuners as well. My questions are, can I get base tunes from you? Also, twin turboing a 4.8 4L80 sloppy stage 2 cam. Do I still run a MAF air sensor on the 5.3 jet boat application? And what about O2 sensors, as I'll be running water through the headers for cooling? Any help is greatly appreciated. Thanks so much. Vance.
This is what we would find out on these videos. People would register an account just to ask me a question. He has 1 post.
There's a lot of jet boat people in Sloppy. There's like
really?
A lot of boat people.
We should make a topic. Make a topic now asking people to post their jet boats. For no reason. Well, bud, if you're still in there, I have my bass tunes online since like 2010 at least.
If you LS swapped a boat,
please post it, right? Meow.
Please post it, right?
Meow.
And then it tried to tag some guy named Steve Meow.
Oh boy. Anyway. Yeah, so I have HP Tuners base tunes, also twin turboing. Do I still run a math? I would recommend that you do speed density tune, which is easy. I have speed density tunes. You can also just take your factory tune and make it speed density. What about O2 sensors? I don't know enough about that boat stuff where they pump the water through the manifolds. I know there's marine stuff, but I don't know anything about it. I'm sorry. Sorry, dude. EMS Pro help. Good day. 0 posts. This guy literally made an account to ask me a question. After some basic info regarding EMS Pro, which I have read some of your info on, I've never done information on EMS Pro, so it's a completely different ECU from a gold box or an MS3. It uses an MS3 chip, but it has a completely different board, blah, 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 blah. I'm just wondering if you can tell me if it will run LS coils. Yeah, absolutely. Perth. It's from Perth? Awesome. It will. I mean, we're a little late, bud. Sorry. It will.
Next one, 6.0 cam.
I'm like, where? Why?
It's because the other ones didn't get deleted.
Hey man, would you be able to tell me who to contact to get the same cam you have in the Colorado?
Is this real life?
I like the way you described that cam. I'm not worried about peak power, but I still want it to pull hard. Well, I did 3 combinations in the Colorado.
Yeah, so
it's tough to say.
But it should be all on the wiki, isn't it?
The 1,000 horsepower combo had a Brian Tooley stage 2 turbo cam, and the Don't BS Me obviously had a sloppy stage 2. Mm-hmm. There's all 3 iterations of the builds on the wiki. Check them out. Read. It's already available.
What if he's blind?
If he's blind, Windows has a bunch of help things that will read the text to you. That's what blind people use. And I'm just letting you know that
I am just being an ass.
Blind people are real people too. Except for deaf people.
Oh, don't start.
Oh. Stock 5.3, stock 6.0, 6.0 board.
You better correct yourself before somebody actually...
What? Gets mad about deaf people? They can't hear my joke anyway. I work with a guy who's deaf, and we say that he's less than a person to other people to make them feel uncomfortable and us laugh.
And Mac can sign.
Yes, I know sign language. More than just... Never mind.
Why do we
I don't like when people ask this. I can already say. People want to do like, should I do a 6.0? Should I bore it? Should I stroke? I'm like... I'll always answer, this is what Ryan Jans was soapboxing, and I was like, this is me. This is like watching me. Because he's like, do what you need to do. If you can't afford a $8,000 stroker motor, then don't. If you can't, just any of the motors will work. LSA pit, man, you are sonic tested block. Like,
fancy.
Literally, dude, don't spend all the money on some garbage like that. Literally buy a Texas Speed motor. Just get a Texas Speed long block and have it shipped to your house. Or a short block and put your disgusting heads on it. Or buy the cheapest 4.8 you can and do that anyway. Yeah, I don't have good advice for people who want to... I'm uncomfortable telling people to spend that much money and do that much maintenance on an engine that's probably going to spin a bearing because most machine shops are garbage. Anywho. Maybe a middle ground reliable injector you're looking for. Hey, my hat. I drive a lot for work, mobile mechanic. Last month I've listened to Sort of Watch at a Glance, most of your newer videos. I haven't gotten to the Fairmont series yet. Anyway, I'll cut the question as short. Blah, blah, blah. Studying 6 liter. Blah, blah, blah. Flex fuel injectors. Yes, I know about decapping. I know. Yes, on the decapped injectors group, there's an entire list of part numbers, and 1 or 2 of them flow over 100 pounds. No need to reply, post it on a video if you want, or not, just sharing an idea. I'm at 11.5 into my turbo LQ4 Fox swap, so it goes 7s. Sorry. Thank you. I do know about that. But other people know about it now, so I'm not going to be mad. Piston differences. Oh boy. Something I'm not going to know or something that doesn't matter? 50-50. You want to flip a coin? Carhartt?
Something that's not going to matter.
Oh boy, look at all this. My goodness. What does he want to combine one engine with the clean and dirty ones? Let's go. Let's go. I want to say thank you. Well, thank you for watching. All the helpful information. I really enjoy your videos. Well, I don't know about that. I'm working on an LC9. Need to replace one piston. The skirt's different. Yeah, I wouldn't care at all. I mean,
you just had this conversation with Kurt.
2000. It doesn't matter. Yeah, if one is dished or the skirt's different, does it fit in the bore? Yeah. Does it hit the same height?
Do they have matlock?
Doesn't matter.
Do they have matlock?
Here's the thing. You can spend all the money in the world on this and buy whatever and spin a bearing, like I said. So, I don't know. I'm not the good guy to ask for that. I feel like people that ask this question want to be told, yes, it all needs to be machined and exact. That's what they want to hear. So when I say it'll be okay, their brain's like, tilt, tilt, tilt. That's not what they want to hear. I don't know what it is. Anyway, page 2. Oh, it already went over.
I just glanced one. It said, check your Facebook messages. Oh God. Oh my. No, Matt doesn't do that.
How about no?
Matt does not look at them.
How about no?
Matt does not look at them at all. I sent you a message probably months ago. You still haven't looked at it.
What a jerk. Head bolt questions.
He must not like me.
Lord.
Oh my.
Hello, Matt. I know you're very busy, but what torque setting do you use for LS head bolts? I can't find the video. How much? You remember? You don't do it very often, but you do it. Here's the question, bud. He means, I'm just going to paraphrase for him. Not paraphrase. I'm going to assume that he means a used head bolt and a stock reused head with a reused head gasket.
Yeah.
65 foot-pounds.
I was going to say 75, but I was off.
Probably be okay with that, but they feel real stretchy around 65, so I quit. And the other big thing is if you have a click style wrench, you need to pull quickly. Because I've done this experiment. I actually want to do a video on it. You can
Don't
pull.
have me do it.
If you pull slow, a clicker won't click. If you set it to like 75, you can get to like 100 pounds and bust the bolt. If you pull quickly, it's meant to have that brake action, and it needs a certain amount of
Ours
yank.
isn't the clicker one. Ours has the vibrate thing, right?
It's digital.
Yeah.
So it is a strain gauge in it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. But a clicker style, if you're not like yutzing it, if it's not a grody pull, it's not accurate in my opinion.
Matthew, what is the word of the year?
Grody.
Yeah. Matt has carried that on.
Grody.
He's obsessed.
Grody. 6973 turbo, perfect smaller brother for a 7875. I do know people that have the S69, S369. Yeah, there are people that run it as a single. It's a pretty responsive. It's a back pressure monster. It is pretty much a smaller brother. You're right. I can't help wondering if the 6973, honestly, if you have an appropriate converter, even a 4.8 with a 7875 is pretty light switch. You would be surprised. It all depends. Yeah, if you don't have a bigger converter, if you have a little bit bigger engine, but if you have a bigger engine, I mean, you're right, but it all depends on what you want to do with it at the end of the day, right? You're right. It is the little brother. It's way better than the 7665. Let's just throw that out there. Unless it's a precision, but you have to wear armor if you have a precision turbo because it might launch out of your engine bay and kill a small child on the side of the road.
That's nice, man.
I just wanted to say thanks. Hey, saw you online when I was doing some research for turbo sizing. Well, let's all apologize for that guy because now he has bad information. Just wanted to send you a message saying thanks for all of the info you have thrown out there. I just finished. Here we go.
I like what he's
These people make me proud. They did it on their own with the info provided.
It's something good.
Juicy. I just finished my 1990 Volvo 240 VS Racing 7875 Gen 3 4.8 Deca 80 Wally 450. Look where we have come since this meta.
He has the works right now.
on E85. Just the other day I got boost control and the pit lane limiter working on the gold box. It's much more fun and scary than I expected. See, people, this is a Don't BS Me build, and he says it's fun and scary. Like I say to people, 500 wheel in a turbo auto is pretty frightening, even in a truck.
I had fun with the Don't BS Me build truck.
Fantastic. Never would have had the balls to get started if it wasn't for how easy you made everything. Look swapping in the Fairmont's been hooked since 2011. That's nice. That's a long time.
Yeah, before me.
I started uploading videos. YouTube went live in 06 and I created an account. So
keep up the awesome work. Congrats on the kid.
Dinger.
The
this guy's name is Dinger.
His name's Andrew.
Dinger. Dinger. Dinger.
On to the next.
Turbo suggestion for one. No T4s are going to do it unless you build some weird. Okay, you have a lot of money into something with a CX Racing, Hot Side, Comp Star, Diamond. Do not. I feel like read receipt. Sure, you can. I read it now. From 2 years later.
Where's the read receipt? Where's it at?
Oh, it popped up. I clicked it up here. Dun, dun, dun. I saw one time a stick shift C5 had like a 92 millimeter T4, and I think it was one of those like forced inductions, Jose specialties, where they hog out a sonic wall checked T4 housing to like a 96 turbine, and that's really the only thing that's going to get you that far. And it's going to be a push anyway. I mean, he's got some crazy motor here. Why would you do a T4? You know you can. Is it rear mount or something? What's going on? I'm assuming it's in this 4th gen Catfish.
It's a street car.
Just, even if you can't get a T6, even if you have a T4 hot side, cut it off, weld on a T6, or there's adapter plates on eBay to go from T4 to T6. And people are like, well, that limits my power. And to them, I explained that the Colorado had a T4 kit with a T6 adapter, and it was open and it went into a divided T6, and that car made 990 wheel once I sorted my fuel system many times. And then I detuned to 850 and sprayed 2 dry shots on top of each other and made 1076. And that motor is in Brian Gick's Aspen still today with 18 different rods in it. Anyway. Your plan is a little funny there. I don't know why you want it. You have to. It's going to be expensive to get a large, customized, hogged out T4.
Oh my.
Anyway, anywho.
Oh my.
L33 C5 turbo from 2 years ago. That turbo C5 from a few years back. Schwanky. Henry, Richard.
Oh really?
Schwank-wanky.
Yeah.
Schwankatiki.
I didn't know that you were actually.
Would you happen to have the tune? Thanks, Jason Ward. Using a VS7875 rear turbo, 01 Z06. I don't know if I have that, and I don't want to search. But if you email in, if you are watching this 2 years later, if you email in, I will.
It's nice. It's
I
from
keep
2 years to.
I keep everything, so I will send you his tune.
And he's our friend, so I'm sure you have it.
But I would say I've learned a lot since then. So.
Does that mean Henry has to come back?
He probably will have me throw it back on one day. I mean, he had it out doing burnouts the other day, so it's still fine. It still hasn't popped. I must have done something right, even if it was wrong. Does that make sense? Vocabulary, grammar. Bosch 210, Fairmont Turbo LS 80E tuning.
It's like they're like dangling a carrot in front of your face.
Can the Bosch 210s be used with the LS6 intake and the 411? Yes. Let's just leave it a short answer, right? Good night, sweet prince. There are 2 different height 210s. You can buy hats. You can space your fuel rails. I sent you a message. To you here on here, fool. I'm having a stroke. When you were doing Q&A videos, thank you. I watch all your videos and just observe the shit show on the Facebook page. That's what we call a lurker, ladies and gentlemen, back in the forum days. I have my Fairmont on the road for over a year now and a track twice. It's a micro square EFI source starting off one of your bass tunes that I have tweaked. Pretty amazing stuff. I'm grateful for all the information you share and the time you dedicate to make it all happen. I'm messaging you because my setup has grown in both power and money invested. Therefore, I'm not as comfortable in turning up the boost for fear of scattering it. See, this is why I tell people not to spend money on their first Turbo LS. It may scatter even if it's expensive. People think that spending money on internals will stop them from coming out. That's just not true. In fact, it's probably worse.
It's not your insurance.
In fact, it's probably worse because people are like, well, it's built. It's more of an excuse for them to floor it through it breaking up. Anyway, because it's built. Let's get back here. I'm asking if you will be willing to look at the tune with me on the dyno. I think I put this car on. I think we put, yep, Harrison Young. I remember him. So we'll skip this.
Yeah, we're really going back.
I did put his car on. I think he was at the limit of pump gas and a bunch of other. I was like, you need that E85, yo. The ethanol.
Quick question. 2 years later.
Oh, this is a paragraph. This is not a quick question. Hey, boss. Don't know if you're the guy to ask, but I see you on the admin list at the bottom of the page.
Yeah, let's just.
Oh, I tried to submit a new thread, forced induction, but I don't see my post. Nah, dude, they like put an admin hat on me for, I wonder if I still am. They did it to be nice to me after all of this stuff I did. See, all I did was trash everyone on ls1tech and they made me a moderator.
I don't know how you have it's called Matlock. It's so strange.
It is. It's cool.
You could be
it's not strange, it's cool.
You could be such a dick. And they're like,
oh,
hey.
I almost dumped myself out of my Harbor Freight wheelie. Boosted 5-3. Hello, I am new to this thread.
I've seen you all over the internet. Kind of creepy.
Figured you knew your stuff about these motors. Well, I know enough to be dangerous, that's for sure. I have a 5.3 with a GT45. Hurts my feelings. Double timing chain. Why? No. Head studs. No. New springs. What springs? Hardened push rods. Waste of money. New rollers. What are new rollers? Anyway, I have the supporting mods for my turbo. The engine and turbo is in my K5 Blazer. It idles and runs. But man, who tuned it said it wouldn't rev up with low degree. What is that? It idles and runs. He put 50 degrees of timing in it for it to rev. He owns a shop and he claims to be a tuner, but I know that's not safe. He did a good job on everything except tuning. What do you think? It could be anything. That's like when people are like, my car's making a noise. It's tough. I know we always go to this thing and we blame the people for asking bad questions, but it's just true.
Yes, sir.
You can ask bad questions. Not that it's your fault, but maybe...
Some of the subjects kind of scare me.
Wow, I had the G in 2018. I had it too long. I saw your G48 dyno video that pulled the 7,000. I bought the G
for your first Father's Day.
Oh, you're right. Horsepower peaked around 6,600. Was that due to the tune, or was that the motor running out of cam, or were you at the limits of the spring? It wasn't the limit of the springs. Let me just tell you that. It was just truck intake. Doesn't like to swing to 8,000 RPM.
Next one makes me nervous.
Matt?
Are you there? Knock, knock.
Matt? Is this Matt from Sloppy Mechanics?
No.
If so, I'm willing to pay you for the time, if it's reasonable. These people are funny where they're like, I want to pay you for a tune, but... Like we were talking with Ryan Gary today. Lots of data logs, fast. I don't want to work on anything with screenshots and fast XFI. Are all your injector drivers working? Oh, that's a dig at fast XFI.
A reply. Oh.
Quick question. Have you ever had a micro squirt short out a bank of injectors and make them stick on? Everything was fine until I added boost control solenoid Fidel as a ground. I did a third gear pull. I've never had it happen, but I've heard of people having all sorts of weird stuff happen, but people don't wire the cars the same as I do. Do you know who I can contract to find out where you bought it? Did you buy it from EFI Source? If you did, you get support from them. Mike Mopar Mike is like the nicest guy in the world, and they would gladly help you diagnose. Or even if you did it, they would probably replace it for free and pay for shipping.
Well, you can't say that.
They're just super cool. So if
they're
it happened,
good business, they're a good company.
Yeah. I once we got a guy's car on the dyno, and it was a micro squirt, and he welded the top of his Deca 80s shut. It melted the connectors and the injector body. And I was like, I have never seen this happen. And he's like, gosh dang, Deca 80s. I'm like, I've never seen any. Never mind. Anyway.
Lots of boats.
Any help would be great. I have a sitting duck for a car and 2 effed up micro squirts. 2? Okay. Yeah, I don't know, dude. You should have it checked. You should call the person you bought it from. I don't know. Again, it's like someone's like, my microwave is sparking. And you're like, my microwave doesn't spark. Tough, right? No, I've never had any problems. I know that sounds like I'm being paid to say that, but it's 100% true.
Lots of boat stuff being posted.
Unless I am way off base, you are the sloppy mechanic I am looking for. I am sure you are flooded with inquiries. However, I have a few questions after reading some of your posts and your wiki. Well, we have to answer the man now. Unless he missed something in the wiki.
Well, let's see.
I have. Please know my intention is not to waste your time. See, this is nicely written. I have to read all of this. Yeah. I bored over a 6-liter. Oh, geez. Okay, 821 and 317s. Initially, I was going to keep the engine NA, but after I know where he's going with this. This is why I have the L92 heads laying around, which would be better for a turbo application. Honestly, Cathedral Port works fine, and this 821 is Cathedral Port. I thought this said 862 in my dyslexic brain. Whatever gives you the most compression ratio will give you the most base horsepower, will give you the most horsepower as you add boost. I was looking at the demo special from VS and didn't see any specs for the turbo. That's the GT45 one, yuck. Now there's like 25 demo kits. You can put whatever turbo you want in the kit. Is there any way to get more information? Call VS Racing. I read a lot about a 92mm turbine with an AR around 1 is the best. But I'm reaching out to you, obviously not trying to spend big cash. Call VS Racing. I'm not familiar with turbo technology. Call VS Racing. By my calculation, 80-pound injectors might be overkill. No way for a turbo 6-liter. Nope. Is methanol, H2O always necessary? Nope. Nope. Doesn't need to be. Nope. I also couldn't find the regulator referenced in your wiki. Link didn't work. Yeah, that's why I stopped posting links, because they go dead on Amazon and eBay and stuff in like a month. It's tiring.
Say something about it.
It's tiring. You need to make an executive decision or ask on like sloppy public or private in a non-a-hole way, and you will get a good answer. Absolutely. I use a PQY now, which comes in like 20 flavors, and it's like 25 to 35 doll hairs shipped from China. It's more expensive shipped from US senders if you are impatient or have a shorter deadline. It's not much more. It's like well under $50 to get it immediately. But if it's a long-term project, you can spend half the price and get it. If you can help me out with these questions or even point me in a direction. We'll see here, this is the same thing. Stock rotating assembly horsepower limitations. It's tough to say that. It's really high if you do a lot of things right. How much, I mean, pump gas, decent sized turbo, 80-pound car, like 80-pound injectors, you can easily be, 80s will go like 700 rear wheel. So a 600 rear wheel in a car like that with a T56 will be really unruly. So you're fine with all that, but 80s aren't overkill by any means. Everyone's putting 1500s in now. Cammed auto surging cold start. Needs a tune. Or it needs vacuum leaks fixed. I have searched around, can't find a video article for you getting cold starts perfect. There is no video on how to do it. Each one likes something different, and you have to give it that. So if someone's like, I like chocolate cake, and you give it peanut butter, it's not going to idle right. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. That's a bit of a circle of a stretch. Are you shot?
Yeah, we've had a long day.
I'm assuming it's a stock computer catfish. You said get a good tune. I have since purchased HP tuners, and it's going to be like running airflow and air fuel ratios and idle timing tables and building an ignition pocket and all the things that come with the experience of doing that. So just keep messing with it, or download a bunch of my really crappy free tunes and see what I did. Otherwise, yeah, it's like when you're like a line cook and you can cook chicken, meat, potatoes, eggs all at the same time. You can't roll in there and be like, how you do that? You just
do it.
And then
it's
all
your
like
me making 3 dinners.
All your meals are hot. The guy's a rock star. It's because he does it. Have you ever done a jet boat motor? Nope. I'd like to get one to work. Plenty of people have. I hope they did write-ups a few years. I tried several combinations but never had good luck. I have 2 turbos, some broken LS motors. I'd like to run about 750 crank. Should be super easy, especially with E85. I have a ls1 intake and a 474 Borg Warner and a 76mm on 3. Well, definitely do the... Does he mean BW? Is that the engine? I think he means Borg Warner. I have 2 gates and some 80 pounders. I have 2 intercoolers. Wow, you have like 2 of everything. You only need 1. I'm thinking of 750 crank is like nothing. Thinking of getting a 5.3 from a front wheel drive car. No, I'm not a fan of those. I think Brandon Furchess is awesome, but I hate that platform. Like LS4 front wheel drive Monte Carlo stuff. The transmissions just don't last. I like what the Nelsons are doing with the DSM and everything, but they broke the transmission like 2-3 times now too. And they have the lightest car possible and it still can't. 210s. What 210s do you run in your builds? Looking to buy some, don't want to spend $1,500. BS Racing sells warranted Bosch 210s that are flowed for like $550 shipped with a warranty, and Snake Eater does too. And a bunch of people are buying Bosches in bulk and flowing them and selling them for $500 to $700 with a warranty, so you don't have to spend $1,500 from like FIC or FID or... What do you rev your SBE Pack 1218 spring cars to? Yeah, I wouldn't spin an aggressive cam very high because it's probably going to dance. The JFR one, it all depends on like your intake and your turbo and everything. They'll clear 7,000 pretty easily. If your oiling system isn't perfect and everything else isn't good, it's not going to make power at high RPM, and it's probably going to spin a bearing if you give it a lot of RPM. That being said, a lot of people, including like 8s for 8, we would swing like 7,500. And Ryan Blaster's car, the Gen 353 that went 8s also, he was swinging like mid 7s. But part of that's also to get back into the RPM range that's not the danger zone. If the converter RPM drop is too low, they just shift higher. I would say majority of the time when you are swinging it that high, it's not making power up there, but it's making more than you, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, people think just revving it's going to make power. And anyway, an S475 crops out at like 800 wheel max. So, you don't merely, I don't know. Are we done talking about that yet? Hey, I know you're a busy guy, so I thought I would send you a PM. We're almost out of 2018. I saw this swap on YouTube and was wondering if you'll be posting this in ls1tech. I don't think I ever did. I'd like more info on the swap. It's all on the wiki. I also have a theory on the misfire issue. It requires pulling the head. Yeah, I don't have a crack in those heads. I did swap the heads because everyone told me they were cracked because they were Castex. I've had like a bunch of motors with Castex and they've never been cracked, even though people are like, they're all cracked.
Maslach.
Anyway.
Maslach.
I know what you mean. The crack in between, like the spark plug and the valve, yada, 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 yada. I forget what that was. Oh, that was, I think it was just, I had a bunch of trouble with that. Like your truck and the MyG were E38s, and I just had like weird issues with those, and I couldn't fix them. I put a Holly on it, and it's been good. Other than it like kills the battery and does all sorts of dumb stuff now.
And leaves me stranded.
We're at the, it's like 2.5 years old now, and it's getting into the terrible 2s.
That, I feel that, yeah.
Matt, in this build I saw you use a bread box, manifold, Snake Eater throttle body. Could you please tell me if you use a P59? No, I did not. I used an E38. Also, if you've posted a tune for this combo on the wiki, yes. I've also purchased 2 sets of Snake Eater injectors. They work awesome. I've purchased HP Twizzlers MPVI2. I'm sorry to hear that. Learning how to use it. If you have any advice, it will welcome. Time is precious. Well, I thought he was going to say time is precious, so please get back to me. But he was not being a jerk at all. He was saying thank you for your time. Yeah. Okay. Sloppy stage. You're leaking compression. Hey there, I bought a Sloppy Stage 2 cam for a 5.3 and I'm having issues getting it tuned in Canada. I was wondering if you could lead me in a direction to find a bass tune that I could work off of. Biggest thing is what ECU? And everything else, try to look for something that's similar on the wiki.
Yeah, we're just going.
You're leaking compression. This may not be your answer, but I pulled apart a 5.3 when this must have been when I had like a small issue with my G and I fixed and I can't even remember. Mark's 403. I was just reading some posts and came across the tuning Mark's 403 notch Mustang. I built that motor and I had it in my C5 and sold it to him so I could invest more money into my machine shop. And I was just wondering how well it's held up for him. It never skipped a beat and he sold the car and it's still running. And then the new owner took a bunch of advice from John Bewley, and the car has never gone faster and been reliable ever since. Anyway.
Seriously?
Yeah, 100% right. Took it apart. I don't think he ever put it back together. Hey, my name is Chris, and I'm working on a project LQ4 single turbo into a 2004 Crown Vic P71. I've never undertaken a project of this magnitude. I have to apologize because the Crown Vic platform is actually kind of hard to LS swap. It's kind of garbagey.
Say that to Cameron.
He'll admit it's kind of garbagey to fit stuff in the packet. I know there's plenty of room under the hood. That's not true. It's weird. It's like the 70s, 80s G body, Camaro, everything else where the A arms lift really high and it looks like there's a lot of room flat, but there's not a lot of depth. So looking in, you're like, wow, so much room for activities. Try shoving a turbo in there and closing the hood. You have to gut the whole thing in the front end and then the tires in the engine bay. Same thing with a Crown Vic. The tires in the engine bay.
Car, you did them out the hood, didn't you?
I just stacked the turbos. I was like, I'm not doing this. And now everybody does that. It's cool now. I originally wanted to run both the Ford and GM computers in sync in order to utilize my factory gauges, and I have searched a little prevail. Yeah, there's not much info on that. You just got to wing it and do it yourself. Please feel free to contact me. Well, Cameron did this with the Marauder recently with a Holley Terminator, and it's fully integrated. He has a speedometer working with a Dakota digital box. He has the AC working through some Holley I/O.
Yeah, it's a fancy little boy.
Yeah, we wanted to make it really fancy, and someone pretty fancy is buying it. And I'm not going to say who it is. The world will find out soon. Phytech Ultimate. I dislike the Phytech stuff quite a bit. I have no good luck with it at all. I'm just wondering if you have any dyno time with the Phytech. I hear that it's hot garbage. So I have this Chinese 4-inch crank. Well, that seems like a really short crankshaft for an LS engine. The only reason I didn't use it in my build because I didn't feel like machining my rods. It already has heavy weight in it. In your video, you spoke about building a stroker build. If you want it, it's yours. Just reimburse shipping. Thank you. I'm not one for building motors. Recently, Summit, though, was like, here. And then our buddy up the street here was like, yo. And then now I have a stroker motor that I hope has oil pressure when I start it. Makes me nervous. I'm not doubting Matt or Summit. But what I do doubt is reliability when you spend money.
Yeah.
Because stuff likes to kick you in the balls. Anyway, where's my unread ones? There's probably one on page 2. Should we check? Did we get through all of page 2?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, back to page 1. Well, actually, here we'll do this. We better clear out that inbox for when I get the masses come pouring in with the new ones. Okay, only one page. Would you be willing to take a PCM to add a turbo tune? Real quick, I probably don't need to read this. I used to flash bass tunes and ECUs for people, but increasingly they had issues and they had like bad map sensors or other stuff when they came to the dyno. There was other crazy things wrong, and it's peanuts money for the headache.
Oh, is that why you don't?
I don't do them anymore at all. I'm like, buy a Holley, Game Boy that thing. If it doesn't run, it's you. It's you. We've pretty much proven
I
that.
think you've stopped. What? It seems like you stopped doing them like in the
A
last,
while ago, like a year ago.
6 to 8 months.
This is tiring.
Because you were having too many
Everyone's
issues.
like, it doesn't run. And then I'm like, okay.
Okay, next.
I'm like, throw it in the trash. Here's your money. I don't care anymore. First off, I appreciate all the info I got from your builds. Are you willing to take computers and add bass tunes? I don't like to do it anymore. In fact, if someone has a stock computer swap car, I'm like, just pull it out and throw it away. It's easier that way. People are never satisfied. They want to change stuff. They can't. They got to get a hold of somebody. If you don't have to, just literally people are like, you're getting paid to say Holly's the best. It just is. Sorry. It just is. I would say 90% of people can't get their build running. And if you ever watch like Hunter and Ryan Blasser and all those people, because they're like, Matt's paid, so they got Holly stuff and they're putting it on everything. And they're like, this is great. Because what's funny is there's like this rationale now where you're like, well, I have a stock computer card, but I need a wideband and a boost controller. That's $250 each. You're half the cost of a Terminator now, which comes with a wideband and a dash and a handheld and an ECU and
less headaches.
And a plug and play wiring harness. And it has safety features, wideband, closed loop boost control. You can hook up a flex sensor, and it has trans brake and bump, and it literally has all that stuff. And then down the road, if you want to get crazy, you can hook up any one of the 4 dashes and hook up a Dominator and anyway. Yeah, so you might as well, you're going to spend the money eventually. You're going to spend as much, unless you're doing like a Calvin Nelson super cheap, unless you know enough to use cheap stuff correctly. But most people, it's tough. So anyway. Turbo help. SBF2. Oh boy. Small block Ford. Should we read this? Tell him to call Devin Vanderhoof. Ford for life. Hey man, I need your help with a few things. Start off, I want to go turbo S485. I need to know what engine, 6L rods, pistons, stroker. Why do people do it? What? My goal is to run a 550 in the 8th with a 2001 Mustang with an 80E. I would not lower compression. I would not do a Super Vic EFI intake. They're both a waste of money. 550 in the 8th should be pretty easy. I mean, 8s for 8 went 562 on its 5th pass. And it was nowhere near the size of an S485. It was a 83 cast and like built in 1982. I can change the intake if needed. What do you think about this? Well, that's what I think about it.
Bam.
I don't like to linger anymore. I like to rifle through this. I'm trying not to be mean today. I've searched your Slab Mechanics wiki and it looks like you don't have any HP Tuners tunes on there. He says there are no tunes.
No comment.
Is there any way I can get a tune from you for an E38 08 Escalade 6L80E all-wheel drive? That's going to be a tough one. Now I know what he means. Call Shane Hines and tell him you have a turbo Escalade and he'll say no. Sorry. That's a tough one, buddy. That's a tough one. You're going to have to find somebody and take it there, in my opinion. You're not going to want to do a bass by yourself on a ECU and engine and transmission that complicated. If you biff your torque output tables for your 6L80E, it will flare, go into neutral, and burn the clutch packs out of the car in a tank of gas if you don't know what you're doing. If you scale the math incorrectly and your torque numbers fall, it'll burn the trans. Some E38s are limited on the injector size to like 60 pounds. If you put 100 pounders in there, you have to scale the meter and the VE and it starts getting straight into the ugly advanced stuff right away. I don't have anything really like that for a bass. I'm sorry. I have watched a lot of your vids and read a bunch of your posts. Thank you for the knowledge. I'm trying to hit 7,800 on my 72 Chevelle. TH400, 210s, E85, 2 450s, sloppy stage 2. All of this is looking good. I think I want to do an S480 VS stock truck, fine. I have the 4th gen head bolts, okay. 4.0 head gasket already. I don't know what it's just stock head gasket and head bolts are fine, even if they're reused. 4th gen LQ9, everybody has an LQ9. Everyone's lying. No one has an LQ9. People sell LQ9s and people buy LQ9s, but no one has an LQ9. No. If you know what I mean. Like when someone's like, it's a Corvette motor. I got a 3rd gen with a Corvette. It's a Corvette motor.
Is it a Corvette motor?
It's always not a fucking Corvette engine.
It's a Corvette motor, Matt.
It's a Corvette. This is the same motor they put in a Corvette. Tell you what.
Same motor that
this is a Corvette engine. Thank you, King Sloppy. Your vids and posts are the driving force behind my build. I'm hard-headed and spend money on overpriced shit sometimes. Well, you're not doing too bad here. Let's say I have a lot of smack to talk on people, and you're not doing bad here. A lot of stock stuff. You're fine. I have self-control of a priest sometimes. Oh, Lord. That's a disgusting thing to think about. Anyway, MS3 question. Twice in a row. What are you?
Same guy?
Does the Mega Squirt have an airflow limit? Bro, it doesn't use airflow at all. There's no grams per cylinder at all in a Mega Squirt. If not, what is the limit on an MS3? Potentially limitless? I don't know what you're asking for here. New to tuning and thinking about getting an MS3. Never could get complete info on scaling or injectors or math for HP tuners. It doesn't use HP tuners, and it doesn't use a MAF, and it doesn't matter what size injector you put in it. AKA did completely understand, LOL. This is my deciding factor for the MS3. I want to have scale injectors or MAF. Yeah, you're not understanding how it all works, unfortunately. Most of those ECUs are all what we call speed density, and they use a MAP sensor, manifold absolute pressure. It's essentially a pressure sensor, like an oil pressure sensor, and you can get them in a range of like a 2 bar is 1 bar of vacuum, 1 bar of boost, so it reads 14.7 pounds. A 3 bar reads like 28, 30 pounds. A 4 bar reads like 46 pounds. And you can put an oil pressure sensor in your intake manifold that reads 150 psi, and you can run 150 pounds of boost and scale whatever injector size you want by required fuel and run a VE table with any scaling you want. It gets confusing for people that aren't used to like having your cake and eating it too. When you use HP tuners, you have like a cardboard box over there, and everything you do has to go in the cardboard box. And when you have a standalone, you can like shove a broom handle through both ends of the cardboard box and get the space you want and do whatever you want. Does that make sense? Is that a good metaphor? MS3 question.
It's the same guy.
And I watch your videos on the edge of my seat waiting for the next 8s for 8. I don't think I'll do another one. I don't like doing race cars. I say that all the time. I just did 8s for 8 to do this to everybody, basically.
That car did that to you.
Yeah, it kicked me in the balls every day. Looking to see if you can update the title of my... No, I'm marked as a mod, but I don't really have... I don't think I have mod rights. Well, people look like after a while you can't modify the title after like a day. I think it's like a stupid rule. You can't go back and modify the title. I think they changed that, but I'm like the worst guy to ask for
Turbo Truck
moderation.
Turbo Truck.
Like the sloppy private or sloppy page is like going nuts, and I don't do anything, and then it goes. Everyone's like, "Why did you do something?" I'm like, "Okay, here, I delete 200 people," and they're like, "Why'd you do that?" Too much complaining. Hey Matt, I got an issue with my boosted truck and I wanted your suggestions. If you don't mind, I got a 6.0 with an S480. Originally came with SBE 5.3 built front mount kit. Original ECU 2-bar OS and my 2000 Silverado. Anyway, I got a Forge 6.0 KB Racing. Oh, Kyle Brown, that's our bro. Kyle Brown built 2 manifolds for you. Same turbo deck at 80s twin 450s. With the setup, I swapped the 02 411 with the 3-bar for more boost. Since the swap, I've had crazy issues. Idle acts crazy, IAC counts go to 0, and timing locks out around lowest commanded, which is 10. Yeah, this is all sorts of funny. Yeah, you might want to start with a fresh tune-up. Did you maybe flash the wrong thing into the wrong thing? Did you put your tune-up? See, a 2000 Silverado ECU is exactly the same as a 02 411. You can take any P01 and make it any P01, if you know what I mean. So if you have a 99 Corvette with a P01 and you want to make it a 04 Tahoe, you can do that with no corruption. pretty cool. Anywho, it seems like you need to get your stuff sorted out. Like something went happen. Maybe you tried to combine your tunes and do something funny and something didn't jive. But here's where it gets weird. I can get it to idle pretty good. AFR hangs up. I have no problems with PL1s. I can make them do whatever I want. So yeah, you need to start over. Did you save the base files? Also noticed today in short cruise 02 bank 2 hung low. Like, I don't know what volts. Who cares about volts? Bank 1 moved and cycled as normal. If it's a turbo, do you have the O2 sensors pre-turbo or post-turbo? Do you have both O2 sensors? Do you have one or two in the downpipe? Do you have both in the downpipe? I don't know. There's so much to do there. LSX performance and tuning. He's a specialist. I hope he's not a tuning specialist asking me why he can't get a PL1 to work. Hate to put you on the spot there. PL1s are pretty simple. Like Mitch's truck, we put the 1500s in and people are like, it'll never work. Mine doesn't idle. And we had that video where he's like, poo, and backs it out at Dunkin' Donuts. And people are like, it's just lies. Matt's lies. Look at this. FI-Tech again. Sorry. Phi-Tech. I sent you a message on Facebook. I thought I'd ask you here. Have you ever heard of Phi-Tech? Yes, I have. No one I know has a Phi-Tech car that does anything other than what a bad carburetor runs like. They are really bad. I did one that other day. I tried to help that kid with the Phi-Tech setup. Phi-Tech.
Yeah.
And I had to submit changes like 15 times in a row for it to take them. And then I could not make it do anything well. I tuned a carburetor replacement Phi-Tech on that C10 that was really nice a while ago, but it did not make good power. And he wasn't there long, and it took me all day to mess with the Phi-Tech. I couldn't get it to work on the laptop. I had to use the Game Boy the whole time. And similar, like I'd make a change and it wouldn't show up, and I make a change and it wouldn't show up, and I make a change a third time and then it would show up. It was I don't like it. Buy a Terminator X. It's cheaper than the X, and I thought you'd be interested. And I know all about it, and people were asking me, and I used to say, probably why you are saying also, I'd say, I haven't used it, I don't know. So I'm like, I don't want to say too much about it. All I want to do is throw the J Meager Real Street Performance quote at it and say it's new to me, so it never ever worked.
An hour later, he sends another message.
Here's the thing. I don't even know what engine you're trying to put all this on. If it's like an old Mopar engine, you can't really... You have to retrofit a whole entire multi-port fuel injection setup on it. I don't know. Let's see. We need...
S10s.
At least he wrote it as S10s. Isn't that word S10S in lower cases look... I don't know. I feel offended already. I've been watching your videos for a while. Everyone asks this all the time. And this is, S10 guys are so apologetic about S10s. Why build a Colorado? It's just an S10 replacement. Yes, they replaced the S10 because the S10 is garbage. Have you guys ever looked at an LS swapped S10 and an LS swapped Colorado?
Mm-hmm. Not Matt's
An
Colorado.
LS swapped S10 has literally no room, a shit rear end, like
Smells
no
like
frame,
shit inside.
doesn't fit. The LS engine, unless you do custom chassis work and firewall moving, is flat up against the rad. Nothing fits at all. It has a steering box with arms like this that drives like a truck. The steering box takes up 70% of the engine bay. The HVAC box takes up the other 70% of the engine bay. The frame rails are too tight. It hits all of the headers. You can't fit a turbo kit because the accessories and everything in the front end, it's literally a nightmare of engine flow and usage, and I've gone over this till I'm blue in the face. It is an uphill battle to do anything with those cars, and there's no redeeming aspect. And literally the Colorado drives like a small car, has a completely closed in frame, the LS engine drops in it, turbo kit drops in it, it has a rack and pinion. It's like when people have a third gen and I build like a Fairmont, people are like, why don't you put a Chevy motor in a Chevy, blah, blah. Like Ford guys get mad. And I'm like, the Ford has a nice suspension. It steers nice. It has a rack and pinion. It has a completely open engine bay. The stock rear setup can handle 1,000 rear wheel easily. But if you buy a third gen,
the S10 question.
you have like the torque arm, the 10 bolt, the engine bay that doesn't fit anything, and you're driving a third gen. People see you in a third gen. Same thing with S10s. I have friends with S10s, and that's fine and all, but I never, ever stop giving them shit.
Yes.
Because literally any one of those dudes, they all say the same thing. It's the same thing. This is the same.
I don't know who you sound like.
I'm like, drive a Turbo LS Colorado. It is the farthest thing from an S10 that there could be. And I don't know how many more times I need to say this. I hope you all enjoyed that rant. T-shirts. Well, there's plenty in the store right now. For now. Hey, Matt and Boss Lady. That's your name. I called you Boss Lady. I love watching your rambling. I don't know why people listen to me go on. Jaimie can't stand to hear me go on. She hears it all day.
They have a printing shop and they're looking.
Oh, they're looking to have me print. We're pretty, we've changed people a few times. I don't know. What's your P.O. box? I'd like to send you sample merch. Mm-hmm. Well, the P.O. box is in the videos, so I don't know. We would heavily scrutinize what you have to sell because we're always looking for something better for the money because I don't know.
We appreciate nice quality products. I mean, everyone can get the same thing. It's just
like those Teespring and stuff that's easy. Like the shirts are garbage. And like you wash it twice and the silk screen falls off of it. So that's like what starts to happen. Like, so you try to get a good shirt that's worth the money for people.
So I pretty much find shirts that I like and then I go to our merch person and be like, this is the kind of shirt that I like.
Like the Gildans and stuff like that.
We don't use those anymore.
Oh, it's just in the Gildan box?
Yes, we use
American Apparel. Yeah, they're a really nice shirt.
Yeah, we use those.
Anywho.
Injectors.
Small block Ford. Small block Ford. One more time. Say it.
Small block Ford.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Hi, this guy's...
Why do people type in all caps?
He's a boomer. I hate to say it, but boomers type in all caps. Should I reply to this guy and go, why are you yelling at me? Literally, you have to buy Bosch 210s from someone that's not a scumbag now. There are so many copies. I would literally say... You need to call Varen or Snake Eater. And I think some other people, like I think Hunter's starting to do it, but I don't know if he has them available yet. But Varen is always a safe bet for everything because he's my bro. He's the man. If Monkey Fab sold 210s, I would tell you to go to Monkey Fab too. PCM for less. Ported 862s. Hey Matt, where can I get ported 862s? You mentioned on YouTube a couple days ago. I can't seem to find them on their website. Call PCM for less. The guy's name is Keith. He's a rock star. Thanks, Brian. No posts. 2016. He joined to ask me questions. Kenny sent me a thing. I'll give you guys Keith's number right away. Not Keith. No, not that Keith. This Keith.
Can you give out his...
He has told me many times if people want PCM for less products, to give him his cell phone number.
Okay.
So here we go. 330-329-5167. So Keith has been tuning GMs since, let's apologize for the man, LT1 Camaro days. He says he's probably tuned 1,000 LT1 cars, and he does...
You said Kenny messaged you?
Yeah, I'll check it then. And he does everything from the LT1, the old LT1, into the DI stuff. He has his own cam line. Mitch had one of his cams in the truck. It's still in Mitch's Mustang right now. It's going 920s. It's his truck turbo cam. So it's a good cam for a truck. And if you add a turbo, it works well too. They do in-house. They port, I think what he's talking about is he does like a quick and dirty port job. They're kind of ugly looking, but they work. So people that aren't looking for like the really pretty, clean CNC stuff, you can buy cheap, dirty heads from him. So I actually had a spare set, and that's what's on the motor right now until we put the ball and heads from Matt Miller engines. We're going to try another set of PCM for less decked heads that I had laying around. Anywho, a build thread that I deleted years ago in the Forced Inductions forum. What is this? I'm wondering if it's possible to.
Oh.
I have no clue. I do not moderate like
Your
that.
pretty truck build.
All you'll see.
Click it.
All you'll see. I saw your thread and I looked at a couple of videos on your channel. Maybe I missed it, but how did you piggyback the OEM ECM into AC controls and let the Holly run engine management? People, we should maybe I could do it with Cameron, and I could do it with Ryan Blasser and Hunter, all four of us, because we've done integrated projects. All of them are different. So people are like, can you tell me how to do this? And literally the differences between, it's not awful and it's not terrible, but making it work 100% integrated will take you time and some smarts. So you take the Holly and you put it in there and you split some sensors. And I think we might talk about it one day because I might sell wiring harness stuff for it eventually. But it's going to be low level stuff. It's going to split sensors. So it all depends on your skill level and how advanced the vehicle is and what it needs. And it's like a giant Rockstar Gaming open world question. What can I do in GTA 5? Murder hookers, sell drugs, fly an airplane into the side of a mountain.
Man, I kind of want to play Grand Theft Auto.
I've never played GTA 5. Some of you are cringing right now, but I never got out of I had a modded Xbox with a hard drive and I had San Andreas and that was my thing. 80s music, blasting my C4 Corvette, running over everybody on the sidewalk.
So you want a C4 Corvette?
No. That's the best thing that was available to me while I was murdering hookers and shooting an Uzi out the window at people outside of a nightclub. So that's what I did. Not really worried about keeping the stock cluster. Then you don't have to do much. And the AC stuff is fairly simple. Some of the trucks, if you have a truck, he has a 99 RSB, he has a Silverado SS hot garbage, and a Trailblazer SS hot garbage. So... oh, he said he sold it. Anyway. If you don't want to run the stock dash, it's going to be very simple. You barely have to do anything. It depends. Like I said, it depends. If you're going to fairly strip it and use it as a race vehicle with a Holly dash, you almost need nothing. The AC stuff is complicated because some of the HVAC units do serial data stuff. There's no physical AC signal. So if you make it a regular manual signal and put it into a binary or a trinary switch and then run it through the Holly to run the fans if you are, and then tell it to idle up, all of those features are built in, and it's actually extremely easy because all you're doing is putting power to an AC clutch at the end of the day. So anyway, did you get all that?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Your questions answered. Junkyard 5-3 build. Hey Matt, thanks for all you do on the board and the info on YouTube. I sold my LT1 on my 94Z, which I had an S trim and mild work done. A body has some a body. I think he means a buddy. Has some 5.3 engines he got from wrecked trucks and will be selling. I don't want a track car. My Z28 just want a weekend warrior looking for a 600 wheel. 5.3 auto. Well, don't BS me build. Don't BS me build. I want to do a blower again to the turbo side. Huge price difference either way. 5.3, 90,000 miles. Can I just do fuel upgrades? Yep. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yep. ls1 intake if you want. If you can fit a truck intake in a third gen. Depends on your oil pan, K member, engine mount, ground clearance situation. Yada. Pack springs, new head. Don't need new head gaskets. Don't really need new intake gaskets if the other ones aren't flat. Cheap head bolts. Nope. Don't even take the head bolts off. Other accessories off the LS1. Put down 600 reel with the engine like that. Course turbo or blower. I have read a million posts on the site. 99% of them are all people doing track builds, which I am not. Don't BS me build. The Don't BS me was out for 5 years when this guy asked this. So if he reads and watches everything... Don't BS me build. Go on to Wiki and read the Colorado 3rd Don't BS me build. And then look at the Don't BS me build playlist on YouTube, which probably has 84 videos. It was I even did a spreadsheet, and it was a $3,200 powertrain that made 650 rear wheel, 4.8, billet 7875, everything from Varen. Don't BS me build. 99% of people have no clue how wild and ridiculous. Oh, this is a guy that asked me he emailed me and then stopped emailing me. I'm not going to read that because he might have his info for contact in there. DDN Spider tagged you in a post.
Oh boy.
Hi, Demma. You have been tagged. Running lean sometimes.
No.
Join date
It's
1969.
the admin.
Oh, I'm like,
I know. I read it. I was like, wait, what?
I just realized. Yeah, I'm like, what? Maven tagged you in a post. Same. Okay, I don't care. 329. It's not that long ago. Fully torqued head bolts, no head gasket. I don't want to read a thread. LS will micro squirt tune. Do you have a bass tune? Yes, I do. In the wiki.
No, you're getting like this.
In the tune cabinet. Check your Facebook messages. No thanks.
See what he wrote.
He's gonna say, I have a message for you on Facebook.
See what he says.
I sent you something. Let me know a price. New Orleans.
How would you even know who it is?
KJM. I didn't read your message, and I don't know. Let's say $50,000. If I still have what you want to buy, whatever I would have to sell would surely be worth $50,000. That a good one? Is that a jerk thing to say? Kind of, probably. Is it a weird question?
Let me know.
Pretty much.
I think probably somebody asking you to do something for them.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that's a good assumption. See, you make that assumption, and that's true. I want to drop off my car and spend nothing and get super high horsepower and then complain about all the shit you did. Ever since you put a turbo LS car in, I can't stop breaking my 10 bolt.
Personal mechanic.
My front wheel fell off.
He-Man.
I'm building a turbo LS in the process, actually. And I'm using a Terminator X for engine manager. I was wondering if you can help me with a bass tune. There are bass tunes on the wiki.
On to the next.
I'm trying to get Junkyard Motor. See you build all the time at L3353 with low miles. Cylinder. You know what I would do, Jim? I would sell that L33 with low miles for a hell of a lot of money and buy a really rusty, crappy 4.8 and pocket $1,000.
Doll hair.
Cylinders still have good crosshatch. Mains look great. I'm running a dual spring with trunnion upgrade. Yeah, all this stuff is a big waste of money. And then he's running a sloppy stage 2. All that money, and then he has a sloppy stage 2. No offense at all, a sloppy stage 2, but it's a blue collar working man, and it just doesn't know what to do when it's driving in a Cadillac with like this. I don't know what to do with my hands. There's buttons here to warm my butt, Jenny. I bought a Borg 75mm and 9-6 exhaust side 132 AR. I'm not very versed in this. I'm just reaching out for help. You have a power goal? What fuel do you want to run? Is there a quarter mile time you want to run? How much does a vehicle weigh? Well, once it's a cascading effect. There's your goal, and then the things you need to get to the goal, and it's big. It's a mathematical equation, and it's always right.
Oh, that's silly.
Micro squirt. This is why I recommend Holly to people, because people struggle so bad. They can't get these things to run. They can't find the tune. This guy like melted something. I can't make it run. It doesn't idle. It won't do. And I'm like, you know what? People are like, Holly's expensive. You're S and the D. You're whatever. I'm like, you know what? When you go beep boop beep boop and that thing runs, you're gonna be like, damn, I'm glad I got a Holly. Damn it. And then when you do a data log with the beep boop beep and you download the beep boop beep tune,
you promoted it. So
yes, here's the thing.
And you made it sound like it was easy to people because
it's easy for me.
Yeah, and you're an asshole.
But then when now that I see, and here's the thing: the Holly systems didn't always come with the 3.5, and now that they have the Wizard, like I said, 90% of people can't get them to run. And then the Mega Squirt software, no fault to I still like the Gold Box, but I talked about this with Mopar Mike, and he agrees. The software and the firmware stuff is convoluted, and the way it's presented to you is difficult for people that aren't technical and don't look at it all the time. And that is a huge hurdle for people that are weekend warriors and just want to get the car running because they can't. And then they can't connect to the computer, and then they can't. You know, it's cool. You key the car on, and if you did anything half right, the Holly turns on, and you literally, we call it Game Boy tune. I probably said it 75 times.
Yeah, but you promoted it for so long, so of course people.
Some people have it, yeah. But then, I also say, a Micro Squirt is an amazing, cost-effective solution that you can get to work. But if you're not see, people are like, I want to spend no money. But then for 400, now the Terminator's out.
They just see the front cost right away. And they
and then that's the entry, right? And then all they do is have trouble, and then they have to buy a wideband, and they have to, and then like it's literally, now that the Terminator is out, everything's amazing in hindsight, but this is a fairly new message. This is 8/5. This is August of 2020. So by then, Terminator's out like a year or two. Yeah. Anyway, let's read it. After we made all these assumptions, he might be like, I downloaded your bass tune and loaded it in and went 920 on the first hit, because Ronnie did.
Go ahead.
Ronnie did that. Actually,
click the message.
He put the car in the trans brake and bent the rods out of it in his driveway, replaced the rods, and then went a 920. I have been doing some looking around into micro squirt for my it's a high compression 411 stroker I'm putting into my rock bouncer. I keep looking at the $600 plug and play. It would probably be pretty great for that, like as long as you can get a handle around the tuning. Like I would download Tuner Studio and I would download the bass micro squirt tune for me, and I would open it up, and if you are wholly confused and bamboozled, you probably shouldn't do it. If you don't know anybody, here's the other thing that I found out. There's a lot of tuners that absolutely won't touch Megasquirt products. MS1, 2, or 3. They won't touch it.
Really?
They won't touch it. Not at all. If you're like, I have it, and they're like, nope, they cut you right off. They're like, nope, not going to touch it.
Why?
There's too many versions. There's firmware things. There's software things, and the people are confused when they want to make changes, and nobody wires them right most of the time.
And they don't want to get stuck with the headache.
They just don't want to, because then they're going to have to be like, that's what like Ryan Gary and all my other tuner friends were going to do some stuff like, when you bring a car to Ryan and it has a bad wheel bearing and he has to do something, and then he has to put like a caliper on it and a wheel bearing, because if he doesn't do that and doesn't charge you, you're going to be like, ever since you replaced an oxygen sensor, I got a bad wheel bearing and I need you to replace it because I'm an unruly jerk off that's going to give you a bad review on Google. Anyway, is that a good answer for if he should use a micro? I think what I said, check out the software, and if it makes any sense. If you're not going to tune it, that doesn't matter. What you need to do is see in your area if someone can tune it, because trailering it super far to tune it is not awesome. I don't know. For a fairly simple, what I hate about rock crawlers, I'm throwing everyone under the bus here. Everyone with a rock crawler could put a stock motor in and win a race. What they all do is they build some crazy stroker engine, and they put some weird intake on it, and they put a Lingenfelter MAF on it, and they put a whatever ECU, and then it doesn't run good enough to even complete a race. So if you take a stock one with a stock tune and just make it to the finish line, I don't know. Am I making any sense here?
You're saying they make it too complicated.
Yeah, they ruin themselves.
Yeah.
They're like, I got money. I don't know what to do with all this money.
Well, they do have money.
And then they're like, and then they're like, all these tuners suck. Well, you built a car that sucks, and everyone gets tired of it, and you very quickly. And then you show up somewhere and you're like, yeah, the other guy had lots of trouble, and you're like, oh, great. Sounds like you're a lot of trouble, Chief.
On to the next.
Chief. Junkyard motor gap rings. That's a loaded question, as all of these are. I saw a post back in 2012 where you said you just run the 53 LS as is from a junkyard without gap rings. Do you get that today? I pulled the 0453 LS, so I had no idea miles, great pressure, piston rods, cylinder walls, and all. Why'd you take it apart if it's so good?
You let the magic out.
Haven't checked any bearings on anything, though. Did you look at your cam bearings? Jesus Christ. But I will be putting a blower cam in a supercharger. I think it will be fine. Non-track car weekend worried, looking for 500, 600 rear wheel. Yeah, if the blower is big enough and your inlet air temps are crazy, that's fine. If you want to make a whole ton of power E85 car, you definitely don't need to open rings. If you want to make a lot of horsepower on pump gas and you have a decent tuner, you should open them things up. Ethanol cars don't seem to heat the top ring enough for it to be a problem, to expand enough to break the piston, in my opinion. Because we have done any number of completely stock unopened boys and made 800-ish. No problem. Look at the Turbo 2500 recently. Made 850 rear wheel, completely stock.
I thought about that truck today.
Stock everything. Because Rowdy Viper posted an update for 8s for 8.
It wasn't because...
And he put an aluminum panel, looks like it's out of a B-2 bomber. I'm throwing
Yeah.
him under the... I know he's going to make it prettier. And he's especially going to make it prettier since I called him out.
I thought about the truck before he made that post. Because when I saw the post, I was like, oh.
Yeah, 500 rear wheel for a 5.3, you know, with a blower, like, should not be too much of a problem. That's fine for almost all pump gas situations if you're not getting overzealous with your tune-up.
That's it.
Or was something I didn't read? Yeah, like that guy and someone else.
Yeah, well, you read them through, and maybe people will send messages in and you can keep reading these.
Ta-da!
For some reason, everyone liked when you used to read these.
Well, I'd have a Captain and Coke or two and just put everyone on blast.
Yeah.
And what's funny is you think popularity in something like people are like, hey, can you help me? And I'm like, you are blah blah, you're dumb and you can't help yourself. And people are like, this is so funny. And I'm like, okay.
I thought there was going to be more. A little bit.
Well, because the videos weren't happening for 2 years, so they didn't do it.
Yeah, I can't believe it's been that long. That's why I was like, hey, do you want to sit on camera tonight and answer some questions? And
after I post this ls1tech, their like hits are gonna go up and they're gonna be like, what the hell happened? It's like on Sloppy when 250 people try to join in an hour. We're like, what was posted? Yeah, what happened?
That's been happening a lot lately.
What happened today? Who?
I think one day you should read through your YouTube comments. Not now, because
a lot of them anymore are so positive. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Maybe you should go through the ones you have to approve.
I usually don't even look at that. You know what's funny?
I used to look at it for you all the time.
Oh.
But yeah, I haven't touched any of that stuff in 2-3 years.
Wow, it's midnight already? F.
Yeah, we're old.
I need to go to sleep. I slept like an hour yesterday.
All right, well,
working on that thing. Yeah, so there we go. Thanks for coming out. Hope everybody had fun. Maybe tomorrow we could do a surprise guest on the radio show and just go live. We should see what Ryan or Cameron or someone's doing. Should we get someone awkward and just pin them with awful questions? Who's awkward? Should we get Chris Ortiz to get on?
I just sent him a picture.
He's not awkward at all. See, people, I'm not drawing that line. I'm just thinking what would be funny is just have Chris Ortiz go on and blast people.
I sent him the steak. And he actually said it looked good.
It was. Also, I want to say, because this is kind of like the radio series, I'll ask, should I make this a podcast all the way at the end of the video? Do people, because everyone's like, make it audio, because like they run and they do things and they want to hear it. And not everybody has YouTube Premium like I do.
I don't even have it. It drives me nuts.
I'm gonna buy it for you. I guess it doesn't matter because I have it. But
depending on what I want to watch, I'll just go on yours through our TV or something.
But I have a bunch of friends who are all shop owners, and customers as a whole in the last 5 years have become hard to manage. And we want to talk about how people can be a better customer at this point. Because the whole customer is always right things started happening, and now people are like, unruly. Anyway.
So yeah, I guess you want to know if you should put these on podcasts.
Yeah, we'll just ask that simply. Should anything where it's reading and whatever, where you don't necessarily have to look at how ugly I am to listen to this.
Yeah, or me sit here and yawn because I'm sitting still for so long. This is the longest I sit still, so.
Yeah, this is a long time. Well, we're at an hour and 18 minutes, so that is a long time for you to not move.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you aren't doing like jumping jacks in the corner.
I'm about to as soon as I get up.
All right, so everybody, thank you. Have fun. Bye.